and that will hold almost any size of pot you want to put in it. Okay, so I do this 2 different ways. And of course, you know we're making a macrame plant hanger. I'm going to put you down here so you can see my cutting mat. The thing here is I am measuring against my cutting mat, which is 25 inches, well, 24.5 inches long. And I get my 100-inch piece of rope. And then I'm going to take the spool of rope. I'm going to line up the 2 at the end. And then I'm just going to pull until they're the same length. Now, if you are pickier than I am, you can do this by measuring out every single piece, but I'm not doing that. This is faster, easier, and I've never had a problem with it coming out weird or crooked. So we've got 3. And I just hold on to the ones that are already cut until I get them to the same length. It's kind of the same way that I do yarn. Okay, and now my spool is down on the bottom, but okay. All right, so now I've got my 2 lengths or my 4 lengths of rope. And I'm going to take them and I'm going to hold one end, bring the other end up here to match it. And then I'm going to come down here to where the center is. So I'm at about 50 inches. I'm going to wrap it around my finger. And I'm just going to tie a knot. No special kind of knot, just a regular pull it through kind of knot. And I didn't do that very well, so let's do that again. So I bring it down here to where it's matched up, and I'm going to pull the loop through till I have all 4. And then I'm going to pull it tight. 1, 2, 3, 4. See? Okay, now, let me show you. And you see this hook right here on my pegboard? You can put this on a hook on the wall. You can put it on a doorknob. You can do it any way you like. I'm just going to hang mine on the hook. And I'm going to pull all of the strings down. And I'm going to separate them into pairs of 2. So now I have 4 pairs of 2. And I have a ruler right here. You don't have to do this with a ruler. But I'm going to come down to about 10 inches. And I'm going to tie a knot in the first 2 pairs. Or the first 2 ropes. Put it in, pull the knot tight. Move that one out of your way. Do it again. Come down to about 10 inches. And what I'm doing is I'm putting my finger at that 10-inch mark. Now, this is not precision work. This is get close enough to 10 inches. They're not going to be exactly the same. But that's just the number that I like to work with. And I'm trying to make that knot kind of sit at the 10 inches. But as you can see, mine aren't matching. Come down to 10 right there. Tie the knot. Okay, and so now I have 4 ropes with knots in them. I'm going to spread them out again. All right, so now that I've got my 4 knots tied in, I'm going to spread these out, and I'm going to take one string from that pair and one string from this pair, and I'm going to come down 6 or 7 inches, 6 today, and I'm kind of going, I know my pot that I'm going to use is 10 inches tall. I would like to have the knot at 6. So now that I've got that one tied, I'm going to take one string from the pair that I just tied and one string from another, about 6 inches. Pull your knot tight. And I'm going to take one of this, there we go. I'm going to take the one that's left, and I'm going to tie it to one of these. And now that I have one string left here and one string left here, I'm going to bring those two together, tie my knot kind of at that 6-inch mark, and pull it in. And so now I have the bulk of my hanger done. Can you see all of that? And then down here below that last set of knots, I'm going to come down, we'll do 6 inches again just to make it easy to remember. And I'm going to pull the strings through so that all of them match. And I'm just pulling it very tight. So now I have a hanger that will hold a pot. And you can tie these knots closer together, further apart, however you want to do it. And you just put your pot in here, and you spread the ropes out so that they hold whatever you've put in. And you can tie your knots at any distances you like. You can tie your knots at any distances you like, and you can spread this out as much or as little as you please. Now, I'm not going to use this in my sewing room. This is going to hold a plant, and I'm going to put some pictures in of it holding a plant outside and of it holding a solar light, because they're 2 different sizes, so that I can show you that you can use this to hold anything you like.